Hello, and welcome to redpillmortgage.com, Reality on Demand. This is the podcast for entrepreneurial mortgage loan officers. Loan officers in the business who, they want to cut their own path. They want to run their business their way. They want to play by their own rules. They don't want some big organization looking over their shoulder, micromanaging their business and how they run things. So that's why this podcast was created. Now, I've had some people, I've given the name redpillmortgage.com. They're like, huh? What is that? Including, even members of my household. So what I want to do is demystify this title. And so I've got a little presentation that we're going to go through. I've got a couple of visual aids here, and that's going to bring all this stuff to light. So we'll just go through and have a little discussion here and have a little fun. All right? So which will you choose? Which mortgage pill will you choose? The red mortgage pill or the blue mortgage pill? Don't know what I'm talking about? So this is a shout out to a landmark film from, dare I say it, the last century, in which the main character is given a choice between the red pill and the blue pill. Okay? Now, if he chooses the blue pill, he's going to wake up in his own bed tomorrow morning with no recollection that the choice was ever even posed to him. He'll continue believing what he currently believes about life and will live in blissful ignorance that anything else exists other than what he currently sees and feels. Now, if he chooses the red pill, well, then the veil will be removed and he will see and experience existence as it really is. Okay, he's going to understand that all he previously believed to be real, it was simply a construct. It was a false existence with rules that are followed only because people inside of that construct believe them to be real and are therefore subject to their authority. Outside of this construct lies danger, there's challenges and adventures, and there are rewards hundreds of times greater than what he thought was possible before he learned the truth. So, for the vast majority of loan officers, that's a surprisingly accurate description of the mortgage industry. More about that in just a minute. So first, my name is Ralph Watkins, and this is the first of 3 short videos that I'll be sending you that, if viewed and acted on, will quite literally change your life and your career for the better. Forever. As for that construct I mentioned a moment ago, I personally left it after a number of years in the industry, and it changed my life. So, which mortgage pill will you choose? The red pill or the blue pill? Does this sound familiar? A loan officer is working for a credit union, a bank, a correspondent, or some other lender. Typically, they're making somewhere around, between 35 and 75 basis points per closing. That depends on who generated the lead, right? If it's self-generated, it's more, and if it's bank-generated or generated by the company, then much less. The compliance at these places is necessarily like a regulatory straitjacket. Now, at a correspondent or some other lender, there's more. They're probably getting paid between, say, 90 and 150 basis points. And these institutions normally provide some level of processing and part or maybe even all of a loan officer assistant. In the majority of these large companies, the LO job description truly is like a well-worn path. The LO is expected to generate business, and as a reward for executing that task well, they're gifted with the responsibility of completing the mountain of paperwork and the fulfillment tasks that come along with that business. Now, the main issue with this is that the personality type and the skill set that make a person good at generating business, they're different than the personality and skill set that make someone good at fulfillment. Now, most people are much better at one than they are with the other. So they find themselves struggling with and stressed out by the task at which they're weak. Now, with a handful of exceptions, the companies don't want to hear about it. I mean, they expect the LO to put on their big person panties and deal with it. Now, while most people understand intuitively that both sales and fulfillment have value, sales is a much higher payoff than fulfillment. It's actually about 16 times more valuable. Why? Well, one simple reason. It's easier to find good fulfillment people than good salespeople. For every person willing to put up with the grief, the rejection, the frustration that come along with making the phone ring, there are probably 99 who would rather get a salary to organize the files. A loan officer who could be earning $400 per hour making the phone ring, but is instead earning $25 an hour doing fulfillment work, is literally losing $375 an hour, even if they don't know the exact figures. And worse yet, they usually spend about 80% or more of their time on the $25 an hour stuff. They're extremely frustrated because when they ask their company for fulfillment help, they're told that, well, you just don't have the production. Or worse yet, our company was doing just fine for a long time before you showed up. And frankly, we don't need you telling us how to run our business. Sadly, this leaves most of them, as Thoreau said, leading lives of quiet desperation. Now, if you think this sounds depressing, well, you're not alone. But here's the good news. That is nothing but a bleak construct. That's not reality. That's what we see, so it's what we believe. And if you accept it and live within it, well, you're choosing the blue pill. You are consigning your life and future to someone or something who cares about your well-being only so far as it is good for their well-being. So, what can we do about it? Stay tuned for my next short video where we'll cover how to reject the blue pill. We'll talk about how you can take the red pill and create a reality that right now you can only dream about. We'll see you soon. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see the next one, right, you can go ahead and hit subscribe, and that way as these things come out, you'll be notified anytime we produce the new one, and they're going to be coming, as I mentioned earlier in the video, coming forth shortly here. Also, if you liked it, hey, just give us a like, okay? And lastly, if life is just too short for you to wait for the next video, like you want to get to it, there's a link on here that you can use just to book a time to call us, and we can speak to you directly, right? We can have just a one-on-one call, or we can work with you and show you the best way to take that red pill, all right? Hey, thanks so much. Thanks for being a part of today, and we hope to talk soon. Take care.